Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise HOBART begins now.
Good evening. A sea of green flooded into MyState Bank Arena as JACKJUMPERS fans showed off their spirit for the inaugural side. While it wasn't the result they'd hoped for this afternoon, there was no shortage of energy among the thousands of Tasmanians who filled the stands.
On the march into the nest, the Green Army's passion is undeniable, attracting young and old into the stands.
I couldn't believe it within my lifetime to be here, but to be here now and to see it for real, absolutely amazing.
Clappers in hand, basketball fanatics were ready to unleash their deafening roar inside MyState Bank Arena. A lonely sight of purple and gold was spotted amongst the mammoth march of Ants fans who were all eager to see one-star import turn it on behind the arc.
So what are you hoping Josh Adams does tonight?
Gets lots of hoops. Josh Adams. Josh Adams is my favourite player and I hope that Josh Adams turns it on too.
Adams. J.A. Go JACKJUMPERS.
Superfan Simon Hall has sat courtside all year, knocking down the door to get the first ever membership.
I'm very happy that we got those seats right at the start of the season and we'll be locking them in for the next 10 years, I think.
From 2 wins and 6 losses in the beginning, the turnaround has been quite the fairy tale.
Oh, it's fantastic. I think it's a real belief amongst the community and the team that they can do this now.
As the mastermind behind it all, Larry Kesselman's faith in Tasmania is now paying dividends.
It's exceeded every expectation of mine, of I think every fan, so it's a real bonus. Tasmania being the smallest state, I think will always be a bit of an underdog. So for them to go up against the big smoke of Sydney, it's just an absolute fairy tale.
The business mogul backing them in all the way to the championship title.
No one ever gave them a chance, so I think they're in with a chance. That's what I think, and whichever way, I think the winner is Tasmania.
Also a proud moment for the state's premier.
I've never quite experienced anything like it, and it was really just going to describe it as an amphitheatre of enthusiasm and devotion.
It's quickly become the hottest ticket in town, with seats selling out to members in less than 3 hours for the grand final clash in what's a special day for Tasmanian sport.
The support and how much people have loved it and how much fun they have had is what I was hoping for.
Despite coming off second best in Game 2, the JACKJUMPERS mania will now return north to Sydney for a final chance to keep their playoff dreams alive. Grace Evans, 7 Tasmanian News.
Locally, key election figures have continued to make the trip to the state, with the Deputy Labor leader backing Tasmanian producers. It came as the Liberals announced funds to get an iconic railways redevelopment on the right track.
An election promise that's not just hot air. The Don River Railway will receive $10 million towards its planned project if the Liberals win the next election.
Our main aim is to get access back onto the main line from the railway here that will enable us to run trains from Devonport all the way through to Penguin.
I don't think there's a person out there, whether they're 2 or whether they're 102, that doesn't love a good train.
The iconic attraction is the largest heritage rail yard in the Southern Hemisphere, and tourism bodies want to unlock its potential.
There's a huge opportunity here at the station itself to create a museum experience for both kids and adults alike.
Meanwhile, Labor's manufacturing cash splash continued.
So today we are announcing a $3.4 million commitment for the purchase of equipment and the fitting out of Fermentas's new facility.
Aiming to help supercharge small businesses, the centre will make production and analysis equipment available to startups working with fermentation.
I think for me as an established business, what they'll offer is the more in-depth science and analytics on what we're doing, perfect it, and then that gives us confidence to even scale up in the future.
Making sure Tasmanian produce doesn't go sour. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
McIntyre Independent Tanya Rattray has secured a 4th term in the Legislative Council after receiving 55% of the primary vote. Labor's Josh Willey is also breathing a sigh of relief after being re-elected to represent the division of Elwick.
I'd like to see more kids reaching high school with foundational literacy skills. I'd like to see more kids supported with the things they need to learn.
And 20-year-old Labor candidate Toby Thorpe has a narrow lead in counting for the seat of Huon ahead of independent Dean Harris. A man in his 80s has died overnight from COVID, bringing Tasmania's death toll to 59. COVID cases are continuing to drop across the state, with 733 new infections recorded. There are currently more than 6,000 active cases in the community, with 43 patients being treated in hospital. One remains in the ICU. The 25th anniversary of the Mother's Day Classic has raised more than $1.6 million nationwide. In Tasmania, an army of breast cancer survivors and their loved ones turned up to tell their stories.
A routine mammogram appointment saw Lorna Long's life drastically change.
I'd put it off for about a month. I thought, oh, I'm too busy, nothing's wrong with me.
Doctors diagnosed her with aggressive stage 4 breast cancer the very next day.
I had a double mastectomy, both breasts was removed. Since then I've had another big operation.
Now fully recovered, Lorna exudes positivity, celebrating the 25th Mother's Day Classic fundraiser alongside her very proud daughter.
Last year she took part and she was only a week from having her last chemo session, and today she's come out and completely smashed it.
Here I am now with hair.
Tasmania's recent wild weather saw the course shortened at the last moment, but nothing could stop more than 1,000 participants from painting Bellarive Beach Park pink.
This event started out in a park as just a local event in one state in Australia, and now we're having over 60 events Australia-wide.
The funds raised from this year's Mother's Day Classic will go towards the National Breast Cancer Foundation in support of the 1 in 7 Australian women diagnosed with the disease.
We want to hang on to every little bit of life that we can, and thanks to days like this with research, we've got that chance to do that.
Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian dancers have given it their all while auditioning to perform with some of the mainland's best talent in the Victorian State Ballet's upcoming production of The Little Mermaid. The cohort from Kingston's House of Dance has been selected to line up in the musical. It's an exciting call-up for the local performers who will get a taste of life on the big stage.
Seeing what it might look like to be in a professional company and have that as a career one day, you know, experiencing with people that do this every day.
As it could be a potential career path, just getting that opportunity to dance alongside them will be amazing.
Rehearsals are already underway for opening night at Hobart's Theatre Royal on June 25. Tasmania's 47th Premier has candidly spoken about his first month in the top job. Tonight, in an exclusive sit-down interview, Jeremy Rockliff admitted he has a tough 3 years ahead.
On the 8th of April, Jeremy Rockliff was sworn in as Tasmania's 47th Premier. He says it's been an exciting ride ever since.
Been able to get around Tasmania in various areas, but also we've been very focused on delivering what the Tasmanian people expect us to do.
The humble potato farmer has a proud agricultural background, elected to state parliament in 2002. He served as a loyal deputy alongside 2 former leaders until Peter Gutwin shocked the state and stepped down last month.
I was proud to be serving alongside him as his deputy, and I'm also very excited for the opportunity that lays before me as well.
And according to Mr Rockliff, his good friend is doing just fine.
I remember going to work in Launceston one morning, and there he was in his been in his trackies, looking very relaxed. And that's good to see.
The Liberals won their 3rd consecutive election in May 2021, promising a strong, stable majority government. Although it's been anything but, 2 senior members have quit politics and another has relinquished her ministerial title this year alone. With a less experienced team now on the government benches, they'll each need to show they're up to the task.
They all bring to the Parliament different life perspectives, and that's important. And I want every member of my team to work hard.
No doubt the Premier has a tough job ahead, responsible for overseeing the Commission of Inquiry into child sexual abuse, and he needs to continue the push for a Tasmanian AFL team after several club presidents recently cast doubt on its viability.
We will get a licence, that's my clear expectation. We'll drive that very hard.
Retaining the health portfolio could be a thorn in his side, tasked with reducing the elective surgery waitlist and improving ambulance response times, which are among the worst in the country. With 3 years to go until voters head to the polls, Jeremy Rockcliffe will have to prove he can deliver on those promises. Ainsley Kosh, 7 Tasmanian News.
The Jack Jumpers are on the cusp of being knocked out of the NBL Grand Final series in straight sets after a heartbreaking Game 2 defeat. The result coming despite a heroic effort from Josh Adams, who scored 36 points.
Rebounding from a tough Game 1 was Josh Adams' priority, and he took flight early to get the fans up on their feet.
Look out!
Shaking off a hand injury to score 10 points in the first 5 minutes. The return of the Jackies' defensive bite, helping them lead by double digits at quarter time.
The Jack Jumpers flipped the script from Game 1.
Before the script flipped again as Sydney scored 14 unanswered.
Clark crossing over. It's all happening for the Kings.
A tough make from Jared Weeks levelling the scores before he fired them ahead once and into half-time with a 4-point lead.
Weeks is feeling good. He's feeling really good.
Jack McVeigh was putting his neck on the line in the second half. The pressure clearly getting to Kings coach Chase Buford, who left an impression on the arena's advertising boards. The match getting more and more physical as Jack McVeigh again put his body on the line and Josh Adams hit another instant classic step-back three-pointer.
It don't matter who's guarding them.
McCurr matched the acrobatics, but Tasmania led by 2 heading into the final term. A frenetic pace didn't produce a flood of points. Down by 5 with the clock ticking down, that man did it again.
To tie it up! Oh my! Unbelievable from Josh Adams!
Josh Adams scoring the Jack Jumpers' final 10 points to put them within reach.
Off balance! Oh my goodness! That is extraordinary!
This man is
33 points!
Man, this man is flat out disgusting.
Before the Kings' dagger broke green hearts.
Big moment! DJ Vasiljevic!
A 4-point loss sending the Jack Jumpers down 0-2 in the best-of-5 series and needing a win to return to Hobart one last time.
We got another game in Sydney on Wednesday. So that's what I'm thinking about.
We can't fault anything. They made the shots and we didn't. I think our guys did fantastic.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmanian News.
Jack Jumpers players have returned to the Northwest Thunder as the NBL 1 season starts to gain momentum. Sardines landed 14 points after coming off the bench, while Sean McDonald scored 4 of his own. They couldn't drag the Thunder over the line though, Kilsyth winning 73-100. Better news for the Launceston Tornadoes getting up 85-67. Keely Froling top scored at Elphin with 28. Mariah Payne had 25. Kelsey Griffin 21. The Tornadoes are one of only 2 undefeated teams so far this season, alongside Mount Gambier. Richie Port has finished 16th in the Giro d'Italia's second stage, a 9.2-kilometre time trial in Budapest. The Tasmanian stays within 30 seconds of the leader in the Grand Tour. Great Britain's Simon Yates won the stage.
Good evening. 19 degrees the state's high today, recorded in Launceston. Hobart 17, Burnie 16 and Devonport 18. St Helens 18 today, Low Head and Flinders Island both 17, 16 at Wynyard, the Friendly Beaches and Bushy Park, Grove 15 along with Strawn and King Island, Maria Island 14 and 9 degrees at Lyawini. On the satellite, cloud is seen across the west and surrounding waters to the west and south today, with small areas of cumulus clouds scattered across the rest of the state and some areas of clear skies. A cloud band with embedded thunderstorms lies over the Queensland coast and inland. Areas of low-level cloud can be seen over southeastern Australia, and cloud is still swirling around the weakening low over the Tasman Sea. And high-level cloud extends into WA and frontal cloud bands lie over waters to the south. Now let's take a look at the coastal conditions. Northwesterly winds 5 to 15 knots about the west and south, increasing to 10 to 20 knots during the morning, reaching up to 25 knots in the southwest. Variable winds 5 to 15 knots elsewhere, tending west to northwesterly during the afternoon and evening. Seas 1 to 1.5 metres. Final flood warnings still current for parts of the state, as well as a frost warning for the Midlands forecast district. A mostly sunny day tomorrow in Hobart, 16. Dover and Ouse, both partly cloudy, also 16 degrees. Partly cloudy in Launceston, 17. 15 in Devonport and Scottsdale, both partly cloudy. Burnie, Strawn and Stanley, all partly cloudy, 16 degrees. Partly cloudy in St Helens and Swansea, 15. 15 also at Ross with an early frost. Looking ahead to Tuesday, fine apart from possible showers about the southwest coast, showers about the central north and the northeast on Wednesday, fine elsewhere, and those showers will extend statewide during the afternoon and evening on Thursday. A partly cloudy 19 in Alice Springs tomorrow, Broome 33, mostly sunny, showers and 20 in Sydney, and a mostly sunny day for Melbourne, 17 degrees. Right now in Hobart, it's 10 degrees, partly cloudy, Launceston 11, partly cloudy, and clear skies in Devonport 11. And Lou, I would like to wish my wonderful mum Christina and all of the mums a wonderful Mother's Day.
Absolutely, and yes, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. That's all your news for this Sunday night. Thanks so much for joining us. From all of us, have a lovely and safe evening. Good night.